Hello, everybody. Thank you, Raman, for that wonderful introduction. And I want to start out by saying I'm assuming most people in the room are entrepreneurs or going to be entrepreneurs or are struggling through entrepreneurship. One way or the other, we're connected in some way. I believe that entrepreneurship is a lifelong mission. I don't really think you start and stop. I think you continue to start and stop and keep going. It's a lifelong investment. But when does the entrepreneur understand the investment that they've made in the company, and how does it come out the other door as the investment? So I'll tell you a little history because it talks about the investments made along the way. The company was started with this much money. Can everyone see through that? Okay. So it was started with that much. It was started with three giant hearts and a wonderful family that established our business. The values of that family still maintain the culture of this business. That was a wonderful investment we made. That also was free, okay? The truck we had, we pushed everywhere and then some, and I can remember one day it broke down in an alley and we had to call AAA to even get us away from the party we didn't even get paid for because we flubbed it up. So believe me, entrepreneurship, you know how to do this, okay? You know how to do that really well. But how do you learn how to make money in your company? And there's many ways that you invest along the way because it's your life. Every day you get up and make a decision. You invest in people. You invest in things. You invest in, product. You invest in customers that aren't right customers. You invest in customers that are really good customers. But oftentimes the one thing that you don't invest enough in is yourself. And when you don't invest in yourself, you lose. And you lose in this way. Your company is a reflection of you. So every morning, get up and look in the mirror and say, my company is a reflection of me, and what do I see? Do I see an untruth in my value system? Do I see an untruth in really the delivery aspect of my business? Do I see an untruth in really the product? Where is the untruth? And an entrepreneur, because you live a long time, 27 years is a long time, you make a lot of mistakes along the way. And mostly, I have learned, to forgive myself for every mistake I've made. Because I have made mistakes, and I have learned, and when I learn, I turn that into the next investment I'm going to make, okay? So the gentleman before us said that he learned that that he had a falsehood around what his people believed in engagement. Unengaged employees is a really bad investment. And I think as entrepreneurs, we most of the time think of ourselves as a leader, and most of the time we think of what we're doing as a job. And if you started your business because you were operationally excellent, because you had a great idea, because you had a great product, whatever discipline you went into the business with, the business will do that very well. But it won't do anything else well. And until you realize that, do you put the systems and processes in that are uncomfortable? So I'll give you an example. I did operations really well, okay? I did customer service really well. I wasn't so great at sales, which is hard to believe, I think, for most of my friends in this room, but I'm not really good at closing a deal. I'm good at making a friend. I'm not good at closing a deal. I'm not actually a chef or a cook in any way. I really don't know how to prepare food. I know how to eat it with everyone else in this room, and I know what's good and I know what's not good, but I didn't come out of the back of the house. I came out of operations. So in 2006, when my husband passed away and I stepped into the role of leadership, I walked to that mirror and I said, as you probably have all said, holy shit, I don't know what I'm doing here. What investment, every decision I make is an investment. What am I going to do first? And the first thing I did was invest in myself. I went out and met great friends. I joined professional organizations, one of which is the Coleman Center, that has helped me along with many of the friends that I've made here. I started to reach out to anybody who had a business over 75 to 100 million, because that's where I wanted to go. I lunched, I dinnered, I learned. I failed, I lunched, I dinnered, I learned, I implemented, I was successful. Then I lunched and I dinnered internally in my own company and found out who was engaged, who was not engaged, who was following the vision of the leader, who was not following the vision of the leader. The investment that you make in the company is every decision you make. Every decision you make is a financial decision. Every employee you hire is a reflection of yourself. That's an investment. Every mistake you make, regretfully, is a losing investment. But there's no other way to learn. So when I stepped into leadership in 2006, I had to learn a lot, and I mean a lot. 2004, sorry. It seems like yesterday. 2004, I stepped into leadership. I had to learn a lot. And the first thing I had to learn was I am a reflection. The company is a reflection of me. And where will the company go if this thing doesn't work properly? If this thing doesn't work decision-wise properly? So I spent a lot of time in self-development in order to understand who I was and give me the confidence to make the decisions that I had to make. When I learned over a couple of years of really what the president and CEO role was, I went into the company and started to make those decisions around those styles of leaders. I brought in professional managers. Some worked, some didn't work. It was an investment of learning. Now, where the company is at 27 years is we have all professional management in the company. We have grown through many different cultures of people. We have an inbred, engaged culture that nothing can penetrate. If you come into the organization and you do not fit, you are out within 90 days. We're going to coach you and develop you and give you a chance. But the most expensive thing that you can invest in, that I found over the years, is people. If I look at my business and look at those financials, people, labor is my highest cost, food is my second highest cost, and paper is my third highest cost. Anybody in the paper business wants to give me a good deal, I'll see you at the end for coffee. But it's labor. And in most of your companies, the most expensive thing that you manage is labor. So investing in the processes around recruiting, hiring, HR departments that function, compliance, training, career tracking, development of people, that is what I put most of my investment into at this stage of the game. So at 27 years, now I have another 27 years to go. So now what do I invest in? The product is there, the reputation is there, the brand are there, and the people are there. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to invest in next, but I know where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the investment of me and continuing to learn by hanging out with my friend Bruce, because he's already been through what I'm about to go through. Now we're coming down the other side of the business. For the next 10, 15 years, I need to prepare the business for sale, for family members to come in, for, employees to have an ESOP and buy the company. But regardless, now I'm preparing the company with the idea of investment. What do I invest in now? In time, in money, in expertise. And it's not always money. Most of the time, it's expertise and knowledge. And as you grow your business and make your mistakes, forgive yourself as you're growing your investment bank of knowledge. And as you get to a certain point, the company kind of runs on its own. Sometimes you don't think it does, but actually mine is running on its own. It kind of looks back at me sometimes. I'm always surprised to see the wonderful talent that I've invested in 3, 4, 5 years ago that now are engaged leaders, that are thought leaders within the company, because there's no barriers in our company to thought. Everybody has a sign on their desk around the expression of good ideas and the value of good ideas in the company, because the good ideas are something I invested in with my people, because every time they bring me an idea, I get to invest in a new way of doing things. I think too often the entrepreneur thinks of himself as this is a job, or I am an employee, because you stay close to your employees as a new entrepreneur right? We stay close to our employees. We know them. It's very hard to elevate yourself into a management role. But the minute you move yourself into a management role and into leadership, it's really not about always watching the P&L. It's about leadership. It's the soft skills of leadership, as was touched on with the coach. It's the soft skills of leadership that you learn that transcend everything else. I can walk into my kitchen right now and I can tell you which person is having a bad day, usually why. I can tell you if they're not operating properly and if there's something out of sync in that kitchen. I can't always pinpoint it exactly, but if I walk through that kitchen and I feel it, it's real. And I'll call the executive chef over and I'll say, how's it going back there? Really not going well? You know, so-and-so didn't show up. We missed a late something or other, whatever, right? When we have a problem like that and I sense a problem, I have a little investment I've made. It's called the huddle. I put everybody in the room when we're having a problem. We all stand up. We say, what's the issue? How are we going to fix it? Everybody okay with it? Let's go do it. And it immediately takes the problem out of the room, because we can't leave on events and have people leaving our kitchen going to cater all of your weddings and your parties with people not happy when they leave the business. So it's very important we get negativity out of our workplace really quickly. It was another investment I made. It was an investment of time. And so as you continue to grow your businesses, look at the way that you can invest your time into your business by seeing things past the obvious, by being intuitive to what is going on in the business. Because investment, I use the word investment as if it's a monetary thing, but investment is the life of the entrepreneur. There is no difference between my life, my personal life, and my entrepreneurial life. I know that, you know, in some marriages it should be really quite separate. I realize that. But as an entrepreneur, you don't go to bed thinking about when am I going skiing. You go to bed thinking, okay, what are the issues of tomorrow and how am I going to invest my time and help my staff and support my customers. You're always investing in your company day in and day out. And when you think of what you're doing as an investment, it becomes more precious. When you think of it as a job, it seems to become less important. When you see, when the ball is rolling over you and you've had a really hard day, get up the next day and say, what am I going to invest in tomorrow to make a change to get myself out of the place of pain I am in today? And if you can't find the answer, pick the phone up, okay? Pick the phone up and call anybody in this room, call anybody at the Coleman Center, including Ramen. Call anybody you know that's been in business, and they'll pick up the phone and help you invest in yourself so that you can make the changes in your organization that you want to make. And maybe you just don't have the capital, the intellectual capital to make that happen. Intellectual capital is an investment, and investing in yourself in order to be the leader you want to be is the most important investment you can possibly make. So that's it.